Life Things with Maquita Donyel listeners. What's up? We have made it to our third episode. We had episode 0, 1, 2. Wow. Yeah, we're at 3. And so I have something to bring you guys. I decided to join a group named Patreon. What Patreon is a website for curators and artists like myself that provide an opportunity for the people that love me most, that enjoy the content here and in my books and on the website, to receive exclusive content and join in and be a part of the creative process for as low as $3 a month. For as low as $3 a month, you will receive insight into exclusive content. If you decide to upgrade to the next tier up for $5 a month, you will receive not only exclusive content, but a slew of other things, including early access to podcast episodes like this one. Other tiers include things like a free signed copy of one of my published books that are available on Amazon.com, Stories of a Polished Pistol, and you will also receive a t-shirt. So this is a great opportunity for you to get some behind the scenes content, to see exactly what happens when I'm creating these podcasts and what it's like even being a single mom, Jesus-loving, youngish person navigating her way through this life thing. And you also receive, again, the content that I post and share earlier than anyone else. Some insights that I come across while going through the different things that I'm creating. You'll receive that as well. We'll get to chat once a month, have a Q&A, get to go do some polls so I can see what you guys are thinking, how you're feeling. It's really an opportunity for you to be a part of the creative process, whether it's the podcast or writing my third book or coming out with new videos. You all get to be a part of all of that. So you will go to www.patreon, that's patreon.com/Maquita Donyel Polished Pistol. So that's Maquita Donyel Donyel Polished Pistol POLISHED PISTIL. There you can take a look at all of the different tiers and all of that good stuff. Essentially, for the price of a coffee or tea once a month, you will receive exclusive content, behind the scene moments, content before I post it, or content that I'll never post on any of my other social media platforms, as well as the various insights that I come across just going through this entire life thing. For the price of a coffee or tea, you would be spending that money on receiving things to feed your mind and feed your soul and keep you entertained during and long after being stuck in your home. Your membership goes directly towards supporting not only the podcast, but everything that I'm putting out into the world, as well as the amount of time that I'm able to spend to keep producing content and putting it out into the world. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into this third episode. To be totally honest, I don't even want to post this episode, let alone go through and listen to it about 10 times so that I can edit it properly. But nevertheless, here's another deep episode. Hey guys, this is Maquita Donyel of Polished Pistol, and you have reached my podcast, Life Things. Here we talk about the things that happen in life, whether it be ups or downs, or moments in our lives that feel like they're going sideways. Most importantly, here we are safe, here we are free, and authenticity is the name of the game. Dude, I have a podcast. And this is gonna be fun. So this is one of those moments that I would rather not record, but that kind of defeats the whole purpose of this entire podcast. So here we go. Let me just start by saying that when God has called you somewhere, you don't have to worry about sinking. When God has called you out into the water, you don't have to worry about sinking. When God has called you to a place, to a decision in your life, you don't have to worry about him leaving you there to figure it out and or drown and or not make it. And that can be pretty difficult to remember when you're in the midst of it. So in this moment, I was experiencing the fear and the weight of one's dreams. But all in all, I want you all to take away that the fear is normal. We're human, but you can have the courage to keep going. Don't let the fear stop you. This episode will show you and express and hopefully allow those that are afraid to feel seen and heard and understood and know that they're not alone and their fear. But I just want to encourage you to go anyway. If God has called you, go anyway. I also want to be able to leave you with a couple verses to refer to that will encourage you on your walk and your journey, in your circumstance and or moment in your life. So I'll start with Matthew 14, verse 29 through 30. Check that one out. Psalm 94, verses 17 through 19. Isaiah 40, verses 28 through 31, and one of our favorites, Psalm 91. I actually recommend that entire psalm, but specifically verses 11 through 15. And finally, Isaiah 41, verse 10. And I'll read that one out loud. Don't you be afraid, for I am with you. Don't be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. Yes, I will uphold you with the right hand of my righteousness. All right, let's get into the next part. Have a great day, guys. I keep having these moments, either in conversations with friends or in books I'm reading or in podcasts I'm listening to. And in this particular moment, it was while reading Elaine Welteroth's book, More Than Enough. And I don't believe in coincidences. I've had this book for months and I took a while to pick it up and then continue picking it up. And there's no better time than now. Sometimes your dreams and your visions are so big that it can be even scary to say them out loud because of the fear that they may not happen, or the belief that you may not be enough, or that the dream is just so ridiculous. Saying it out loud is just like, it's like taking your precious, something so precious. You want to protect it from being harmed by those that won't feed it well, take care of it well. It's kind of what this feels like, but I want to express the interesting kind of opposition of my thoughts and my feelings as I'm reading this book, and I'm like towards the end now. I have a couple of interruptions and I take a minute to look around and observe where I am. I notice first my mirror, my big mirror that I love, that my mom finally let me have. I notice my humble desk with my way outdated MacBook Pro and my mic that I'm using to record this podcast. I look and see my TV, my balcony, my bookcase, and all of the things that represent me on the bookcase. As if this is one of those moments where I'm like, this is my space and it's so me. Down to the smoothie cup that I've yet to put in the dishwasher and the empty dairy-free ice cream carton. As if to take in the moment where I knew I was on the right path and that everything was going to be okay. And that not only was everything going to be okay, but those visions and dreams that I have and that I feel and that I see, that they're beginning right here in this space. Before my daughter went to bed tonight, we had a discussion with regards to a scenario. But one of the things that she said was, "Mom, you're going to be the next Oprah." And to even say something like that sounds like I am shrinking myself if I say, clearly that's illogical. That's never going to happen. It sounds like I'm shrinking myself, so I can't say that. But obviously it sounds very grand. But in this stage, I just want to make sure that I capture this super raw moment, because dreams and visions are very scary, and in your soul, you can feel and know that it's very right and right where you're supposed to be. And every sign that's given to you throughout the day just proves that more and more. What you're reading, the conversations you're having, the people you're attracting, the decisions that you're making, all point to the same thing. And it can also, in that moment, be scary as crap. It's heavy. It's heavy in a way that like I'm understanding various quotes that I've heard and that sort of thing. I never understood being fearful of who you could be. I always thought like, no, that's not scary. But in this moment, what it is it's so scary admitting things out loud. That sort of confidence because of the idea of failing, it not happening in front of everybody, which is like, who cares? Like, who's everybody? First of all, like the people that love you and that care about you and that support you is not a failure. And then everybody else, I mean, in terms of knowing you, I mean, they don't, right? Or your path or anything. And everybody has an opinion, honey. So, but still that fear is there. The idea of vocalizing a dream so big that it's intimidating to admit out loud, even if everything is telling you that it's a total possibility, that it's likely, that it is, even if everything is pointing to it is, and you are where you're supposed to be, even still, it's heavy. And it's not heavy in a responsibility kind of way. It's scary because you don't even have all the steps mapped out. You can see like A and you can see F, but you can't see all the letters in between. And you're sure about F, like you're sure. It's funny that I chose to use F. But you're sure about that letter. Like, I mean, you're sure about that result 100%. You just can't see B through E. And so you can't make sense of it outside of, you just know. And while you're in stage A, you can see and feel and hear the different things that are validating F. I didn't want to get out of my bed and put down my book and even record this because it's like, I don't want to talk about what I can be and what I'm destined to be and this dream. As have a lot of big dreams and admitting those out loud, you're almost waiting for somebody to say like, girl, I mean, that's great and all. I'm glad you're dreaming. You're almost waiting for something like that, like bracing yourself. But I think it's important for people, just in case you find yourself in a similar stage, for you to hear this in its raw state while I'm in it. Before there's an end result, I'm recording this. And so we'll see. I know it's just scary to even say I know out loud, even if I'm determined to move at God's pace and no one else's. It's still scary to admit out loud, even if I'm only creating things in the moment, knowing that that's just what I'm supposed to be doing in that moment. It's just, yeah, it's still scary. Life Things with Maquita Donyel will be right back after this brief PSA.
COVID-19, better known as coronavirus, has spread throughout the world. There are a few ways to help lower the spread of this respiratory disease. Wash your hands. Avoid touching your face, including mouth, nose, and eyes. Cover your coughs and sneezes. Monitor your symptoms and consult with your doctor. Stay at home and away from other sick people except for medical care. Clean and disinfect high-touch surfaces. For more information, please visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. Thank you.
The next thing that I want to talk about but don't want to talk about, but I'm going to talk about because I'm being led to talk about it, is the idea of being inside of a box, removing yourself out of that box, removing God out of that box. Stop placing limitations on what God has for you and the power that He's placed inside of you. Reminding yourself daily that it's non-existent and feeding yourself with things that remind you that it's non-existent. No matter where you are, no matter what stage you're in, you're never stuck in box 10. Mentally, emotionally, And if you find you're in a situation where you feel a bit trapped and boxed in, put all of your energy into getting out, whether that's boxed in by unhealthy habits, unhealthy relationships, etc. God, I just ask that anyone that feels trapped, alone, stuck, afraid to move on or move out, that you release the power that's within them in a way that they've never felt before, and that they follow the guidance that the Holy Spirit is giving them, that you allow them to see the way out, that they choose to follow the way out and never look back to a vice or a situation or a disease or a complex situation that keeps them boxed in. I know that you didn't intend for any of us to be stuck or boxed in, but to be free. And so I pray freedom and boundless freedom on every ear that I'm reaching in this moment, and every ear connected to them, that they are made free in your name. Amen. Yo, this is fun. This is good. I have enjoyed it so much. Interacting with you guys before and after the episode. A special shout out to those that are choosing to become members of Polished Pistol, the brand and the podcast via Patreon. I'm looking forward to interacting with you behind the scenes. Until the next one. Because when it's real and when it's authentic and when you're happy with what you're putting out there and it's rooted in your purpose, it's bound to connect with those that need to connect with it. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to create and connect with you. This is Life Things with Maquita Donyel of Polished Pistol. You can follow me on social media at Maquita Donyel. That's on Instagram, Facebook, etc. You can follow future blog posts and check out the old blog post on polishedpistol.com. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.